You're 16 when someone decides you're old enough. No interview, no paperwork, just a phone placed in your hand. It's a prepaid flip phone with 30 minutes loaded. The battery rattles if you shake it. The number is written on a torn piece of cardboard. You're told to memorize it and burn the paper. Your post is a rooftop above a mechanic shop on the edge of town. Corrugated metal under your shoes. The smell of oil and hot rubber drifting up from below. From here you can see the highway. 2 lanes north, 2 lanes south. Freight trucks, buses, patrol units that pass every 47 minutes, almost on schedule. Your job is simple. If you see 3 or more dark vehicles traveling together, you press 2 and hang up. That's it. No words, no names. You're paid 1,500 pesos every Friday. Cash folded twice. They call you a halcon, a lookout. The first week feels important. The second feels routine. By the third, you realize the rooftop is interchangeable. Another boy covers nights. A third covers Sundays. If one of you disappears, the view doesn't change. You start noticing patterns. Which officers slow down near the checkpoint? Which ones take envelopes from men leaning into their windows? Which military convoys don't stop at all? You learn to identify engines by sound. At home, you say you're doing warehouse shifts. After 9 months, you're told not to report to the rooftop. A motorcycle waits for you behind a warehouse. No plates, tank half full. In a backpack, 2 half-kilo bricks wrapped in plastic and coffee grounds, and a revolver pistol with 4 rounds in the cylinder. You're a courier now. You memorize routes that avoid toll booths and traffic cameras. You deliver to tire shops, car washes, a bakery that closes early on Tuesdays. You never enter through the front door. You never stay longer than 90 seconds. You're paid per run. 500 pesos. 4 runs a day if you're fast. 6 if you're reckless. The organization doesn't introduce itself. It operates through fragments. You receive instructions from one number, you deliver to another. You never meet whoever sits above that layer. You begin to understand the structure by absence. No one knows everything. That's the design. After a year, a courier you recognize doesn't show up again. No announcement. His route is reassigned by sunset. You don't ask. A promotion happens because someone leaves a vacancy. The man who handled collections is arrested. 2 weeks later, you're given a small notebook with names and amounts written in blue ink. You're told to be polite first. Now you knock on doors. You collect 12,000 pesos from a bar owner who pays without argument. You collect 47,500 from a construction contractor who stalls for time. Interest compounds weekly at 15%. You read the numbers off your notebook calmly. When someone refuses, you escalate. You damage property first. Windows, tires, public reminders. If that fails, you demonstrate consequence. Quick, visible. You tell yourself you didn't invent the system. You enforce it. Your weekly pay rises to 8,000 pesos, sometimes 12,000 if recovery rates stay above 90%. You install a steel door at your house. You move your mother 2 neighborhoods away. You stop walking alone at night. You begin to see the bureaucracy behind the violence. Every kilo moving through your territory is logged in a ledger you never physically see. 20% allocated to regional leadership. 10% earmarked for municipal contacts. A fixed monthly amount, 300,000 pesos, distributed across 5 police departments. Fuel expenses deducted before profit shares. Losses travel downward, never up. If a shipment is seized, and someone below absorbs it. If 100 kilos become 92 due to transport loss, the 8 missing are accounted for in silence. You don't learn these rules from instruction. You observe who survives audits. By 21, you carry a rifle. Training happens in a field 40 kilometers outside the city at dawn. 40 rounds per session. Ammunition is rationed. You practice convoy formations. 2 car lengths minimum. Engine never off during transfer. Radios checked every 15 minutes. You're now a sicario. It's spoken like a position, not an accusation. You escort shipments across state lines. 10 vehicles, 20 kilos per vehicle, 2 scout cars ahead, 1 behind. Estimated wholesale value, several $1 million once it reaches the border. Your weekly salary stabilizes at 18,000 pesos. Bonuses tied to delivery success rate. Above 95% earns you extra. Below 85% triggers review. Like you begin thinking in percentages instead of emotions. Violence becomes procedural. Names come through encrypted messages. Coordinates follow. You execute instructions and report completion. The language is clinical. Issue resolved. Debt neutralized. Assets secured. 3 years pass. You attend fewer funerals because funerals draw attention. A convoy is ambushed on a rural highway at 2:17 a.m. 14 minutes of sustained gunfire. One of the men killed trained beside you in that field outside the city. By the following Monday, his position is reassigned. Vacancies are filled quickly. You're moved indoors. Now you coordinate. 3 phones sit on a wooden desk in a concrete house with tinted windows. One handles logistics, one handles enforcement, one connects to political contacts. You manage 40 men across 5 districts. You schedule shipments totaling 200 kilos a month. You track fuel receipts. Bribe disbursements, arrest ratios. 2 arrests per quarter are acceptable. 1 seizure under 50 kilos is tolerable. Anything above that requires internal investigation. Your income triples, so do your expenses. Armored SUV, rotating drivers, safe houses registered under distant relatives, school tuition paid in cash under an alternate surname. You begin sleeping in short intervals, 4 hours at most, a rifle within reach. At home, conversations shorten. You miss birthdays because a shipment can't wait. You answer calls during dinner. You tell your partner it's temporary. Just until savings reach a certain number. Just until stability. Stability never arrives. Only expansion. 5 more years. You oversee an entire plaza now. A territory with ports, highways, nightclubs, warehouses. Weekly revenue in the tens of millions of pesos. You negotiate temporary truces with rival groups. Saad, you meet military commanders rotating through the region and discuss cooperation. Every agreement has a price. You approve operations without witnessing them. A name appears on your screen at 2:13 a.m. You reply with a single word. By morning, the issue is resolved. Distance grows between your decisions and their outcomes. You justify it as efficiency. Internally, audits become more frequent. Inventory is checked twice weekly. Purity levels tested. If product drops below 70%, complaints surface from distributors. Complaints reduce demand. Reduced demand lowers territory value. Everything is quantified. You start seeing the system as a machine. Inputs, outputs, loss margins. Then a shipment disappears. Not seized, not intercepted, just gone. 20 kilos unaccounted for. Internal theft. Phones are confiscated during meetings. Accounts frozen. Loyalty tested through silence. You sit at a long table while men avoid eye contact. Suspicion moves around the room without landing. For the first time, you understand something clearly. The system does not distinguish between guilt and vulnerability. Power is temporary positioning. You initiate a quiet review. Financial records re-examined. Convoy routes adjusted. 2 men removed as precaution. The missing shipment never resurfaces. Weeks later, you receive information that younger commanders are forming alliances outside your oversight. You recognize the pattern. You've seen it before, when you were younger. Ambition disguised as efficiency. The realization arrives without drama. One evening, alone in your office, you calculate. Years inside, 14. Men lost under your supervision, 23. Arrests connected to your territory, 86. Friends outside this world, none. Sleep per night, 4 hours interrupted. You look at the map on your wall marked with colored pins. Territory lines, routes, safe houses. None of it belongs to you. It belongs to the structure. You request reduced visibility under the pretext of health. A negotiated transition. Your authority scaled back gradually. Responsibilities reassigned in stages. Your stipend continues. A fixed monthly transfer tied to loyalty and silence. You relocate to another city. No convoy, no escorts. Just a quieter house with reinforced windows. Your phone rings less each month. Within a year, your replacement reorganizes operations. New distribution chains, different bribe allocations, updated communication protocols. Younger faces occupy positions you once controlled. Your name is mentioned only when discussing past methods. The rooftop above the mechanic shop still exists. There's a boy standing there now, 16, holding a prepaid phone with 30 minutes loaded, watching the highway, memorizing engine sounds, sound he feels important. The hierarchy remains intact. Lookouts, couriers, collectors, enforcers, coordinators, plaza bosses, each rank believing they're climbing, each rank replaceable. Eventually, your stipend stops, not abruptly, just delayed, then reduced, then absent. You consider leaving the country but understand that departure is noticed. You remain where you are, quiet, uninvolved, observing news reports that mention new names leading familiar territories. Arrest numbers rise and fall. Political administrations change. Roads are repaved. Checkpoints shift. The structure adapts. You were never the architect. You were a position filled for a time. And now, like the man before you and the one before him, you are no longer necessary. The highway continues to carry freight north and south. The phone on the rooftop still rings.